Welcome back to the King of the League. My name is Cromar, joined once again by Caisha. This is Game 1 on the European Division 3 circuit between Dutch Allstars and PerryIDGAF, and I'll let you go ahead and figure out what that stands for.
Hereby known as Perry.
Yeah, we're just going to call the team Perry, and also the player Perry, playing Jungle Nunu, who is like the #1 ban in the game right now, but he didn't make it through the bans. Or rather, he didn't get banned this time, so he's going to be there. Let's see if we can see some top-level jungle control going on, which
it looks like he's
pretty likely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
he's going to go for that blue steal. Yep,
poke.
there it is. Just a casual blue steal. That's all it took.
Just walk right up.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's sick.
Well,
he placed the ward. If you notice, if you take a look at this ward, you look at the duration on it. He took that ward. He placed that ward early, like way before, then just walked over and smited it like it was nothing.
Not even an explorer ward. It's like a true ward.
Yeah, it's a regular ward. I mean, that's what the strategy is. And then, of course, he has Consume available, so he can come over and take this red effortlessly. And there you go. Jungle control.
Pretty much.
No, total jungle control. Now, Jarvan, a level 1 Jarvan, is going to attempt this player named Farial, whatever, is going to attempt to take his red.
Who knows? Yeah.
And he's not doing well.
He's got it.
Barely
he just
gets it.
doesn't
He
have
barely
a
gets
leash
it.
like normal junglers do. He's got it.
Yeah,
You've got no faith, Cromar. You've got no faith.
Yeah, but look how much health he had to burn through to do that. He's going to use his potions to catch up.
Welcome to why we leash for junglers, guys.
Here we go again.
Welcome to why we leash for junglers.
So Perry, the asshole new counter jungler, is now checking out the enemy
name.
jungle here. He sees that red's gone, so he's I guess he decided that's all he wants. At this point, what I would do is immediately give blue to Lux. I mean, since you've already stolen
nice
blue,
grab.
he really needs to get that blue to Lux. And I didn't catch that grab down bottom, but I'll have to trust you there. I was watching I was still watching Nunu.
Oh, okay. It was a good grab. They didn't get a kill out of it, but it was a good grab.
Yeah. Well, I see all the harass being done to the supports in both cases, and so we haven't talked too much about the comp because we've been kind of focusing on the counter jungling action.
Nope.
But on Perry's team, we've got Caitlyn and Nami. And I want to remind people that I'm not personally familiar with these players, as this is the first game between these teams that I've casted. But I'm looking forward to getting to know them over time.
Fortunately.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, none of us have casted from these guys. So, we're going to learn the teams as we are for all of our new teams in the King of the League circuit.
So don't be surprised if we just call you by your champion name for a while.
For a while. Well, yeah, we're getting adjusted to it.
Yep.
Yeah, if you watch some of the videos for the teams that we've casted 3 or 4 times, you'll notice that we're getting better and better at calling out the player names because we're learning them over time. And so we keep working on that. But anyway, the bot lane was the Caitlyn, Nami, and Ezreal Thresh. I like the Ezreal Thresh. It's not a very offensive lane, although, if you catch a death sentence at the right time, it'll kill just about anybody. Speaking of which, catching Caitlyn, jumping right on top of her. How about that timing, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he just kind of jumped right into that bubble. Nami actually proven to be a decent counter to that. And Ezreal's going to take that lantern instead of taking more harass.
Yeah, she's good. And, Nami is... The standard right now is to run Janna, right, as a support in general, especially with Caitlyn, since they're so offensive. But Nami's are really good in case Janna's banned. Nami's quite excellent because even her E gives some little bit of a added power and a slow there.
Exactly. And up top we have a gank coming from Nunu to harass the Zek, see if they can at least pop his passive, but no, they are not. So it looks like he's going to get away pretty easily. Just not enough damage from those two champions, Nunu and Malphite. Nunu does get pretty strong as he gets fed, though. The snowballs.
More or less. Snowballs,
I play Malphite top fairly often. I can tell you I don't do a whole lot of damage. Maybe it's just me.
You're basically just there. Well, Malphite's lane isn't actually really that great. People play Malphite for his presence and just for the fact that he's kind of unkillable.
His team fighting is insane.
His team fight's insane, and if you play him right in the lane, pretty much no one's gonna snowball off of you.
Right. You shouldn't get ganked too easily. But anyway, speaking of ganking, Nunu is returning to camp top lane, and the Zac here, Marjan. How do you think we pronounce that? Marjan, something like that. He's going to sit here and fight this Nunu one-on-one. Malphite's not interested, though. He decided to go
like how Zac
clear some creeps.
Gave, zero fucks. He just kept farming while they just walked up and were ganking him, and he was just like, it's okay, I'm Zac. I'm just going to walk out.
I'm Zac, I don't care.
He hasn't even used his flash. He's like, watch me just walk away from here. You can't do anything to me. And then he stopped and tried to kill the Nunu and was like, oh, you want to go? You want to go? and he turns out he didn't want to go.
No, that's true. I mean, and Malphite obviously wasn't interested in wasting his time with that either. No. And what's happening, though, is that Dutch Allstars is severely outplaying them top lane because they're wasting so much time. I mean, how much time has Nunu spent up top while Marchand is just like, I don't care, and he's got double the CS of his lane opponent. So obviously he's just toying with them.
I mean, with what we know about Malphite top lane, you really just gotta leave him alone. You don't really, he doesn't need that jungle support unless he's getting passive, completely wrecked. You know what I mean? He just really doesn't. What you need to do is you need to go be feeding your Lux. You need to be feeding your Caitlyn. Oh,
check out that ult, Unstoppable Force under the tower, and Marchand is going to let's bounce out.
Nice.
Looks like about one tower hit away from popping the
at least the passive. Yeah. It was interesting. So what he did there, he just countered.
It's going to be a shockwave? No.
I
thought for a second there when I was going to pop a shockwave there on Lux, but it looks like she was probably just barely out of range.
Yeah, just quite.
But she's in pretty much killing range anyway. That's unfortunately though. The only player here, Fireheart, took me a second there to translate all those numbers, is out of mana, and he's gonna have to get some support from the Jarvan. Both mid laners are completely out of mana, so it's basically the jungle's fighting while the AP mid just kind of cheerlead.
From what I can tell, I believe that Ferial knows that the ward is down there. So, if you're smart, don't take the blue there. Take it into the bush. Right? I mean, let's not have a repeat of it. 155, right? Let's not have a repeat. That'd be bad.
Yeah. Well, I think they did a pretty good job of driving off the Nunu. So
I don't think
they're not super confident about it.
Yeah, right Nunu's probably not going to mess with it too much, but just in case he was thinking about it, I just wanted to convey that he probably shouldn't go and do that again.
Yeah.
But
so they still haven't taken that blue yet. Come on, guys.
Well, we're waiting on the Orianna. Okay, she had to farm a little bit. Okay,
I think I think that mainly they were just scared of Nunu, so they wanted to wait that out. But oh my God, this is driving me crazy. Get the stupid buff, guys. There we go. So Fireheart now has the blue finally, just the way it's supposed to be. And let's check in with. Take a look at the farm here. I'm noticing that the bot lane is actually dead even between farm and these two players, so it's not bad. I kind of give it to Caitlyn in the long run, but the Ezreal player, the Extrain, it does have a level advantage right now.
Yeah, he does, but I always got to go with Caitlyn's. You know what I mean? Especially Ezreal's that go blue build, and if you guys have listened to my cast before, you kind of know that blue build is not really my favorite build for Ezreal. So, but hey, if it works for you, it works for you. I mean, we've seen it work before. It's just not my favorite.
That's absolutely right. And Fireheart does have the blue, so she might be able to contribute well in this fight. Shockwave is available. Probably going to use it on this Nunu, flash. I would imagine. He's been slowed by the box, but no, she's not able to get into range in time. Yep. Playing a little bit too cautious. I would really like to see Orianna get in there and use that blue buff to wreak some havoc with Shockwave. But not a chance.
Yeah, I don't think that Nami kind of had a poor positioning there. She didn't really have to burn her flash, but that's okay.
No.
Well,
but she was probably scared of the Orianna.
Oh, no, I agree. I would be scared of the Orianna, too. I'm scared of most Oriannas.
So probably just a little precaution. Might as well use the flash for peace of mind. Yeah. And also, it looks like Perry2G has actually taken the blue instead of getting it to Lux. Lux does not have a buff. This player, Jeffers, does have a little bit of mana left. But it's not going to match up to the blue that he's got to face in lane.
Yeah, speaking of top lane, when we were talking about top lane earlier, I'm just looking at the farm. That's kind of Rick and Malphite's face right now. I mean, there's no...
Badly.
There's no... Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and check out this dive here. Kind of ill-advised. Taking an extra tower hit. The last hit is going to pop his passive, but Malphite doesn't have the mana to finish the job. He's not going to be able to kill him. He can't even probably break a second one, just barely.
Oh, no.
So now they might have a slugfest, but no, Nunu's coming up to be the equalizer. Let's see if Zach can slingshot out, using the ward to spot him, preemptively snowballing, and keeping pace with him. That was perfect. That was perfect. He's definitely going to dive this. No. And the absolute zero, not quite enough. Snowball punching.
No,
he's not going to get it. He's not going to get
Malphite.
I can't believe it.
Malphite failed.
It was so well executed, but Free Flyers just was not interested in that fight at all. I mean, he, wanted him to go punch him during the slingshot or something, but no. And so Marchand is going to escape again. It's unbelievable with that crazy dive, getting nothing out of it. But still impressing us with the fact that he survived somehow.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, that's just knowing you're a champion right there. Like, I mean, he didn't get the kill or anything, but he was like, you know what? I'm probably okay. I'm probably okay. We got my passive. Nothing's gonna happen. He is using his teleport though as just a lane advantage rather than helping bot lane or mid lane or anything like that, which is fine. But that is something that you always gotta question. Nice.
Oh, yeah, using the Lantern to come in. Jarvan also doing a banner pull, but missing. Yeah. So I don't think he's going to want a Cataclysm at this point. He just doesn't... He basically used everything he had and couldn't catch him.
That was great. That was a great play from Thresh.
It was. Oh, there's the banner pull. Chunka getting a little bit too far up. Kind of bubbles himself there by trapping himself, being unable to juke the bubble thanks to his own Cataclysm. And also in mid lane, Fireheart finally using that shockwave. I've been waiting for that all game, but he didn't do anything to follow up on it. That's too bad. And there's still no kill. There's still no kills on the board, Caisha.
Still no kills. He got 12
unbelievable.
minutes.
It's 12:30. Come on, guys.
And there's been a lot of close calls. Well,
yeah. For sure.
Okay, since I didn't get to talk about it, are they gonna kill each other? Or are they just gonna poke
No,
around?
they're just having more. They're just playing patty cake again. They're not.
Okay.
Nothing's happening.
Right. So it was a great play from Thresh down bot lane, but just the Nami.
Speaking of Thresh down bot lane, catching a death sentence on Nami, comboing with the box, flashes down for all these champions. There's the bubble, the barrier, keeping Ezreal alive. Can he finish Nami? She's gonna get away. It's gonna be a 1-on-1. Oh god! And the auto attack finishing off the Caitlyn player, while Nami, aka Byeong-sung, escapes with nothing.
How did
that was close.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he managed to pull it off somehow.
Why was not a bot lane ace right there?
That was unbelievable. If everybody survived with almost no health, if the Caitlyn had pursued the Thresh, she might have got the kill, but she definitely would have died.
Did Caitlyn
cleanly died to Ezreal? The only chance she had to survive there was to try to fight him one-on-one, and she just narrowly lost.
Neither of them had their ults. I mean, Caitlyn had her ult, but she doesn't think that she was in a position to use it. But I mean, Ezreal had his ult was down. That was just a pure 2v2 slugfest right there.
Yeah.
Like, what? Wow. I cannot believe Thresh lived. Wow, that was good. That was scary, but it was good.
It was. So finally the first blood happens.
Yeah!
Been waiting
like 13
for a long
minutes.
time, it feels like. Yeah.
13 minutes in, yeah.
We've been waiting all game for first blood.
First blood. That's right.
And
this is next level. It's next level.
Yeah,
it is.
It is. The box is down, but True Shot Barrage is up. Tidal Wave is also up, by the way. Mm-hmm. So I would not engage if I was Dutch Allstars right now, not with the Tidal Wave still available.
No, absolutely not. Especially since Thresh's ult is down.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna chill for a little bit. I mean, Caitlyn's a little bit ahead in farm, but
Farile is also in no position to gank. His health and mana is way too low. That would not go well for him.
Nope.
So he's just going to pick up his golems.
Unless he wants to sacrifice an ult. Like, I mean,
yeah. Cataclysm, flash out, and just leave the Cataclysm there.
He's like, peace.
Yeah, Flash is available.
So, I mean, Cataclysm not as effective against a Caitlyn. You know what I mean? Because it's pretty much she's got
one of the 70 or 80 champions who can completely nullify it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but Nami can't. So without her flash. So there you go. So you could just go after Nami. There you go.
She'll be trapped, but she can counter in a different way. She can just throw the bubble into the Cataclysm. Oops.
Whoopsie doodle.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's not the best ability, but there are some situations where it can be very powerful. The duration is incredible on it, more than anything else.
Are you dissing Jarvan right now?
A little bit.
I'm telling
Mainly because Pure Shield plays him all the time.
I was gonna say, I'm telling Pure Shield on you.
I just like bothering Pure Shield about it. Anyway, there's a binding and a snowball and Fireheart. Lux looks like she wants to combo it. I'm waiting for the final flash. Let's see if it happens, and I'm going to keep calling it that forever, by the way. But Farile is here as well, trapping PerryG. Farile absolute zeroing himself. Because he can't escape that with his own Cataclysm. And Yenot. I've been trying to get his name, trying to figure out how to pronounce his name all game, is trying to help out here, but PerryG has nothing.
I'm waiting for a Lux ult.
Yeah, she's saving that final flash for just the right time. I mean, Fireheart is so low, but not quite in death range. Check out that flashing the build over Peacemaker and the Extrain surviving Ace and Hull. If the Peacemaker had hit him, if he hadn't flashed it, then he would have died. Actually, he was an Arcane Shift. He did not use his flash.
There we go.
There we go. There's the combo. There's the binding
deadly
and the ult that we were
QR.
waiting for.
QR dead. That's how
What do
it
they call it
works.
now? Final Spark? They changed it to Final
Yes,
Spark,
yes.
was it? Yeah, something like that.
Instead of Finale Falcon or whatever it was.
Yeah. But I'm still calling it Final
Final
Flash.
Flash.
So there you go.
Oh, it's just whatever. Whatever. We're just gonna go
I'm
with
gonna call it that from now
We're just gonna
until
go
they
with
change
it.
it to something better.
Yeah.
I'm calling it Final Flash.
All right. Sounds
And
like
there's nothing you can do to stop me. There's nothing you
Okay.
can do to stop me.
What did it look like I was gonna stop you? Really?
You were gonna try and fail. That's
all right.
all.
So
That's all.
Nunu again going top lane with this Zac, and Zac's just like, what?
Yeah, he's
gonna
like,
walk
come on,
away
guys.
again.
Really, you still camping my lane. You
I
can't
don't
even
think
kill
he-
me. Maybe this time, but
I don't
not
think
the last
he's used
4 or
Flash
5 times.
Yet. Like I think he used Flash maybe once, but never.
Maybe that time when he dove and got unstoppable
Yeah, oh
forced
yeah, I
and
think he used
broke
it there,
his passive.
but
That was
it's
about the only time.
it's like a
Yeah.
mouth. Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like just
So,
abandon it. Just abandon it. Just be like, you know what, Malphite, have fun. Like you're not exactly. Go ahead.
I was gonna say gold is essentially even right now.
Oh yeah.
Orion is ahead on farm over Lux, but Lux has a kill. That makes a big difference, so they're pretty
grab.
close. That was a nice grab, but I'm not going to get anything out of it. The tidal wave disengage is going to be more than enough to stop that.
Yeah.
And we're back to a slap fight up top lane.
Pretty much.
These teams are, one of these teams has got to make a play soon.
Well,
or push some
playing,
objectives at least.
I don't want to say flawlessly, but they're playing pretty well on both sides.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Bot lane is both engaging and disengaging at the right times. And when they do engage both at the same time, they squeak away with like maybe a kill. Maybe. Like that's what happened there.
Yeah.
Maybe. But this Zac I think is gonna be a problem. They're allowing him to farm like crazy because they can't do anything. I mean, Malphite, there's just no recourse for Malphite. I mean,
Right.
you
He
know.
hasn't started roaming yet. I mean, that's where Zac is really effective, is roaming. And
Yeah.
we haven't seen that out of him yet. So
Oh,
he's
don't
just going to
worry.
be focusing on team fighting,
He's good.
which is kind of the same as Malphite. I think both of them are going to be carry divers. That's the most likely. I mean, they have a lot of different
Yeah.
options for that. But maybe they can, have Jarvan and Zac on carry diving duty. That would pretty much destroy Caitlyn. Well, for the other team, for PerryIDGAF, they've got Malphite alone for diving and nobody else really. So I think that it's going to be a diving versus peel. And
have to
the teleport
question
does
that-
not protect towers, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have to question that teleport there. I don't know if that was quite worth it. But
I think he was hoping to save the tower. I think he was hoping
Yeah,
that Zac would
that's
see it and
possible.
run away.
That's
But
possible. I would've
Mark-Jan's like, no, I'm not scared of you.
I would have loved to have seen a teleport on Dragon, bot lane. I just love those.
That would have been a
combos.
lot more helpful,
Those
yeah.
combos are the best.
That would have been much more helpful. Anyway, the Fryle trying to break up this Baron attempt. Parry 2G now trapped, forced to flash over the wall and the Cataclysm simultaneously. So Jarvan kind of feeling the pain there.
A little bit.
And more slapping up top. Let's see who's going to get this Dragon. I mean, both of these teams are really terrified of making a mistake at this point.
Pretty much. I mean,
And,
they're playing like pros right now.
Dutch
They are-
Allstars
Ooh.
finishing it off. And Fryle is actually going to catch Parry in his attempt to steal, his failure to steal there.
Yeah, that's
And
what
for
happens
the
in
first
home version,
time, we have a lead. We have a solid lead. Dutch All-Stars now just a little bit ahead of their opponents.
Oh,
Perry,
no.
IDGF, Mark-Jan once again chasing off free flyers.
Yeah, they do have a bit of a lead. They've got a dragon. I think they might have been the second dragon actually. No. Perry's team got the first dragon. Okay, I was just thinking, when we got the last dragon, but yeah. So,
Yep.
let's see.
So total gold, we're looking at a 3K advantage for Dutch All-Stars. And if you look at the individual distribution, it's not like there's any one champion who is vastly ahead of the others. But I will say that the bot lane difference of 1,000 for the Extrain is pretty significant. I still think Chunka is going to be more effective in the long run. I think that Chunka is going to have the peel going for him, and they're going to basically try to out-peel the Jarvan and the Zac, and if so, then
He's
Chunka will be huge.
for sure gonna have the advantage, but I have to question the build right now. I mean, he doesn't even have an Infinity Edge. He went Zeal Bloodthirster, which is kind of rare for AD carries now.
Yeah.
At least a Caitlyn.
Yeah.
That's just questionable. You're not really going to get as much power from Caitlyn as you would if you had an Infinity Edge first, but that's okay. So hopefully she doesn't feel that pain right now, and she can. Not much happens until she can actually make that happen.
Right. And but she deals a decent amount of damage. She also has sustain. I think she's basically thinking long haul right now. And how can I get sustained? But her team fighting power, we're not going to see the real team fighting power until she gets another item at least. And there's a death sentence on Jeffers, and Jeffers is going to be forced to flash over the wall. There's a banner pull knockup too. Lux is in serious trouble, the shockwave as well, and the final flash was used earlier. There's the absolute zero, is going to catch them on the retreat. Let's see if they can out-kite this. I think they can. Chunka now in a tough position, going to try to kill, flash away, and still die to the dots from Ezreal. Ezreal is still alive, Extrain is still alive, showing that extra gold. And, oh man, that was close. Parry2G almost dying to True Shot Barrage. Meanwhile, up top, these two jokers still will not leave their lane.
Pretty much.
We did see Marchan.
Top laners. I mean, that's how they roll.
Well, we saw Marchan go bot lane shortly a little while ago. He was just kind of sitting in the brush and gave up and went back to top.
Yeah, pretty much. He was like, this is boring. I'm going to go back top lane.
I'm going to go back to top lane where it's exciting.
I know. Well, the problem, going back to that fight right there, though, the problem with that whole engage, it would have been actually a pretty good engage if Nami had mana. She had no mana. She was sitting with her ult, and she could not ult.
Tidal wave, still not on cooldown.
No. It was off cooldown. It was.
No, I mean now. Which means she didn't use it.
Yeah, so it was available. She was just literally standing in the back of the line saying, I can't do anything. She had no mana whatsoever. So I think that, obviously it wasn't the best engage in general, but it could have definitely been turned around had she had her ult. I was just waiting, Absolutely. And I'm like, oh, she's
had she
any
bought
mana.
a chalice, for God's sake, come on. Give it the program, Nami. You pretty much can't play Nami without chalice. I mean, her mana costs are absurd.
Hey, she's getting awards for her team, okay? You lay off Nami.
Sites don't need that expensive. Come on now.
Well, no,
but anyway, Parry2G up top lane to try to harass Marchan once again. This time they've got Lux for good measure. They're gonna go all in on him. I mean, he's out damaging them right now, and then the absolute zero did nothing. But maybe the binding is gonna make it happen. The binding. He hasn't even fired it yet. That was her E, and then see if he can catch him now. Finally, but it's gonna be under the tower. And he's just going to slowly walk into the tower again. They're going to kill him. Oh my God, are you kidding me? What a joke. They're going to send the whole team up to kill him. But anyway, Fireheart is here as well. Speaking of the whole team, people are starting to migrate up here. Let's see if they want to do something. No, they don't. They're scared of engagement. I would have liked to see Fireheart walk in and shockwave 3 people and get a triple kill.
Here's something interesting, and I'm not a Zac player, so I can't vouch for this, but he's going full tank. Spirit Visage and Warmogs.
Yep, that was done pretty often. I mean, they just need to stop trying to gank him because it's a waste of time. Anyway, Byung-Sung getting caught. Speaking of not wasting time, they were able to catch Byung-Sung and say like, hey, this is what it's like to gank someone other than Zac. We should gank someone other than Zac from now on.
I'm just used to seeing.
Oh my God, Zac. He's going here again. Marchan is just laughing to himself. He's like, come on, guys, really?
I'm just used to seeing Zac players go a little bit more offensive, but this is like he's just saying, "F you, I'm not even gonna build boots. I'm just gonna keep walking into you."
These two guys cannot kill him. I mean, they can't. They just don't have enough damage.
I mean,
and Parry. Look at Parry's build. He's building tank anyway. So you got two tanks fighting a tank. They definitely can't
do it. Yeah. So they're relying.
It's just a huge waste of time.
They are relying on 100% on Lux and Caitlyn for damage, which is fine. Yeah. But that's going to be problematic, seeing as how you have a Zac and a Jarvan. But
Dutch Allstars continuing to push their advantage very slowly, and one of the reasons is that Parry's team has kind of failed to choose the right targets. I mean, we keep harping on how they keep wasting time at Zac at top. Zac, it's true. I mean, they keep wasting time. Look at this. I mean, look at them. They're still here, for God's sake.
Well, maybe they just picked him before game and was like, you know what, we're just gonna make sure that we shut him down, and it didn't.
We don't like that guy.
We don't like
I don't know. Maybe these guys are friends, and Marchan, he's the team captain, so maybe they're just like, let's just harass him all game.
It's entirely possible. It's like, well, he trolled me that game, so we're gonna make sure that he dies this game, and not so much. Orianna already has the Seraph's Embrace, so that's kind of scary, just a little bit, as far as on Ori.
Yes.
Just a little.
She is fed. She is fed. She's sitting at 221 farm at 26 minutes, which is pretty crazy.
Pretty good
for anybody.
Yeah, that's pretty good, especially with for.
That'd be pretty good in a bot game. Anyway, there's another hook on Byung-Sung. They're like, come on, guys. You see how easy it is when we target someone other than Zach?
Oh.
Yeah, so, anyway. Yeah,
I mean, Malphite's doing his job. Malphite's doing his job and not really, you know...
He's not feeding.
He's not feeding and not letting Zach do anything, but the other lanes are just out of control at this point.
Another gang. See, they can learn something here. They can learn something here. Everybody's snowballing now.
I mean,
look at the top lane. 0-0-0 top lane at 27 minutes.
That's a good top lane. As far as when I look at top lanes, that's what I see. That is a good top lane as far as I'm concerned. But what I'm really concerned about is why is this Ezreal 4-0-3? Like, why is that being allowed to happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in each team fight, what's happening is the Extrain is able to pick up a bunch of easy kills safely, too. He's never been under duress, ever.
And again, you have this new Malphite going up top.
Jeffers flashing everything, but getting caught by the death sentence over the wall, and the Zhonya's, boy, they cannot kill this Lux right now. The tidal wave may be the disengage, but no, she does die. And Malphite coming into the top while Zach is busy, lollygagging up the top lane. Malphite completely turning that around as Extrain for the first time. We just talked about how he's never under duress, but now he's just barely living. Fireheart going to try to kite this, but Free Flyers is in Malphite mode, which means he is diving like crazy. Nobody can stop him. And Pharrell forced to flash. Let's see if they can catch anybody else. I think they can. Fireheart, all of his good abilities are down.
That Nunu has been kited since their mid tower right now.
Yeah,
so
They still can't catch Extrain, but they are going to get Fireheart here in a second. Chunka's going to stop and just finish the kill. But Extrain wants a revenge kill, I'm sure. Harassing like crazy with the slows. Extrain's completely out of mana now, though, so he's got to retreat. Yeah, they can't dive that any further. So obviously they dominated that fight.
They're going to take the red.
Yeah. Yes, they are going to take the red while they're there. So they dominated that fight, mainly because Zach was just missing. And Free Flyers, when he came in, that totally turned around. But they also didn't have Jeffers there for the entire fight, because Jeffers spent the first 30 seconds trying to stay alive. And through flashes and Zhonya's and everything else.
And then finally dying.
Yeah, and then finally dying. But as soon
you know what? They
wasted
a lot of stuff on that, though. I mean, Orianna didn't have her ult, right? I mean,
it's true.
They wasted a lot on the Lux. They wasted, so... gotta give him props for that, I guess. Just wasting all that stuff.
It was a fun fight, though.
Yeah,
I would like to see Marchan actually do something to help his team, because his lane opponent now is sitting at 2 assists. Marchan, he's got the lane pushed up, but
now, you know what I mean? I think it's just one of those things. Let's have a constant pressure and not be too concerned.
Oh my God, they might get him this time.
No,
there's the slingshot. They're not even gonna bother.
Yeah, they just walk away. Looks like the entire team is maybe okay. I was like.
Yeah, your note over here is basically just trying to keep the area warded because they really want to drag the temp. They actually caught Byeongsung once again with a death sentence.
It was a good bubble, though. For one.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Barely survived there. And Extrain now.
Gosh.
Packing heat right now. He's got most of his build done.
Meanwhile, top lane.
Good chunk of it anyway. Yeah, meanwhile, top lane, exactly.
What else can you say? I mean, God, look at the farm differences right now. I mean, Orianna just completely destroying Lux. Zach unfortunately just completely destroying. It's definitely
gotten completely out of control.
I mean, Caitlyn, Ezreal obviously are the only even ones of the game.
We may have an exage here. Not sure if they're going to disengage or not. Maybe they're just going to farm another wave of minions. I know the Dutch Allstars doesn't want to push into the base without minion wave. It's a little bit too early for that. After all, Pharrell is only level 12. Very far behind. So that's not a good situation if your diver is level 12 diving a tower. But they do have Marchan at 18. Freaking level 18. As soon as he's in a team fight, he's gonna be huge. He's gonna be absolutely huge. And no, but you're right though. I mean, he's been, the team hasn't needed his help, and he's just been pushing, farming.
He's being a distraction. I mean, that's all it is. He's just a distraction. Yeah. There's a reason that mid is also pushed into inhibitor turret. So.
Yeah. There, that's absolutely right. Total map control for Dutch Allstars. They could probably take Baron at any time. And there's the Elastic Slingshot, and the combo instantly killing Jeffers. Couldn't even use his Zhonya's. And the absolute zero from Perry gets nowhere. No, they did not. The Slingshot Death Sentence combo at the same time was too much, and Jeffers quits because it looks like that is GG, guys. It's got to be, right? Unless he just disconnected. That could have been it.
it's just kind of it's just still completely fascinating. I mean, it took them.
Oh God, the Extrain making a.
Oh.
Did you see him? He's dancing under the tower. I was like, get out of the tower! No, he was dancing under the tower trying to kill Nami, and he took like 7 or 8 tower hits and finally died.
Yeah. Oh.
And Chunka's gonna get. Chunka's just got chunked. He's gonna barely survive thanks to barrier. And these guys are all really, really low. I would like to see an ace in the hole kill. Actually, ace in the hole's down.
Yeah, they just used it. Yeah.
You know, all ults are down right now. In fact, Jeffers is alive but disconnected. Otherwise, they would get like 3 kills right now.
Yep.
And they're gonna have to back off. Wow, they didn't actually win on that push. That's surprising.
They didn't.
I think if Extrain hadn't killed himself, they would have won on that push.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's entirely possible. You know, it's still just crazy that the game took such a drastic turn. You know what I mean? I mean, Perry's team got the first dragon. They were Nunu was doing his thing. Bot lane was doing its thing. You know, it was just slowly over time. You know, Dutch Allstars.
Yeah, it's been very, very slow.
There we got a dragon steal from Ezreal with no
No,
boards.
that wasn't a steal. It was his own team right there that was doing
my god,
that.
I wasn't even paying attention. I was looking at Perry's
he used
team.
it for a last hit. He got the last hit, that's all. But anyway,
really?
But Perry's team is actually pushing this dragon. I mean, this is like the classic mistake that you see even at the pro level, where you win a team fight and you don't take Baron, and the loser of the team fight just rests up and takes Baron.
Well, they couldn't
because
it was kind of hard
in the time it takes. You know, the time it took for Dutch Allstars to go take Dragon and go back, it was enough time for Perry's team to wake up and go take Baron. I mean, look at their levels. They're all level 13, 14, 15. Not a very long res timer.
No.
So they got a free Baron.
Yeah, pretty much. But unfortunately, like, you know, their main damage dealer, Ezreal, right? He wasn't up, so I guess that's why. I can't really be in their head right now. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
it
Jeffers
was
is still disconnected.
Yeah.
So as long as Jeffers is disconnected, they're kind of screwed. And there's been no pause. Keep in mind, this is a tournament draft game, and they have the ability to pause if they have a problem with a team member missing, and there's nothing in the rules against that. We've actually had a few different games that have had lengthy pauses. Yeah. So there's no reason for them not to pause it. They must know something that he knows he's going to come back soon.
Or
I don't really know. I don't really know what's going through their head.
Just FYI, team captains, don't forget to use your pause function if you have to.
Yeah, if you're missing a player.
You know.
Well, maybe they just know he's not coming back.
Yeah, maybe they just know that he just
maybe he rage quit
and decided, you know what, screw you guys. Yeah,
I just noticed that Marchand is 3 assists.
There we go.
Now he's back.
There we go.
Now he's back. It wasn't a rage quit after all.
No, yay.
It was a disconnect. That's probably why he got caught by the death sentence in the first place. That's probably why he didn't Zanya's. I thought he just got out CC'd. But
yeah, that's entirely possible. Actually, maybe he's just completely.
Yeah.
He was able to.
He may have crashed at the exact moment. So they're going to see if we're going to actually see a team fight here. They took the tower uncontested, but that's because Jeffers wasn't there yet. Slingshot in the team. Good thing they're not going for... Wow, look at that dive from Malphite hitting everybody, and the shockwave being forced to be wasted on the tanks. He's going to chase after Extreme, but he's turned around and going back towards the group. Perhaps to peel for Chunka, because Chunka's at full health at the moment. Going to keep fighting. Extreme's back in the fight, trying to finish off Malphite, and he does. And Free Flyers is down, and this is not a good situation because Chunka is standing in the pool trying to fight them off, and this... Oh, God, Oriana almost getting Chunka. Chunka and Jeffers are still alive. The carries, in theory, are still alive. And trying to stay alive under the Nexus towers. They got no kills from this team fight, though. And Extreme
I don't want to harp a dead horse or anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to harp it.
I believe it's beat a dead horse, not harp a dead horse.
Harp a dead horse, whatever.
A dead horse isn't an instrument, Caisha.
You don't
And then there's the final flash. Hitting Fireheart doesn't yield any time, but it's not enough to kill because Jeffers is too far behind. Oh well, even with the Baron buff and the carries trying to desperately to have a last stand under the towers.
Was Perry's team, the Zac, just basically leaped into the team, and then Malphite engaged a great engage, but the entire team was focused on killing Zac. They were like, oh man, there's a Zac here. Let's get this.
It was a huge waste. It was such a huge waste.
And so Malphite was stuck there, like, being kited by an Oriana and an Ezreal, and he was just like, well.
Yeah. They have no other divers besides Malphite. And he kept Extrain off for a while. I think if he had pursued Extrain longer, he might have had something. Perhaps if Jeffers had comboed with a flash
if he had any kind of support from his team besides himself, I think it might have gone a lot differently. But
it pretty much only Lux's artillery is about the only thing that could have contributed because everybody was. There's no way they can get to him. They would have died just trying to get to him. But with Malphite as their only diver. So maybe if Malphite had not focused on the offense and instead focused on Peel, and that might have worked a little bit better too. But instead what he did was he unstoppable force into the enemy team and then immediately started walking back towards his own team while accomplishing nothing in the process. Oh well. And Extrain just chased him down.
Just a communication issue, I think there. It was just, I don't know. I mean, that's all I can say. It had to have been just a communication issue. I'm going to go and engage upon this, guys, and everyone else is like, what are you doing? So then he was
they seem to be all over the place.
Realized his mistake and was like, never mind.
Zach's build, he did pick up. He's probably gonna pick up Leandry's next. It looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
So he built sorcerer shoes. That's a bit surprising.
Well, I mean, he was so far. It was so far ahead. Like, I mean, it was obvious that he's pretty tanky. So at that point, he was just like, well, I'm gonna go for some magic pin. I'm gonna go for some.
I would expect it to get more speed or something, but not magic pen. I mean, he's not like he's gonna do any kind of threatening damage with or without the shoes.
Every little bit helps, man.
Perry, pushing up. He's not tanky enough though. Perry has not been building. I mean, he built the bulwark, but the rest of his items look. I mean, what has he been doing with his money, or just does not have any money because he's getting chunked really easy. Speaking of that. Chunka getting hit by Fireheart. Oh, boy, that's a bad situation to be in. Thresh engaging on the team. The absolute zero is wasted. And the Shockwave obliterating the bot lane. And that's going to be the game right there. Perfect Shockwave. Free Flyer's way too late to do anything. And Jeffers is up now, but, I mean, what's he going to do, right?
Yep.
There goes the Nexus. So game 1 going to Dutch All-Stars. Definitely influenced by a disconnect, unfortunately. But the game was already way in their favor by that point. So it wasn't like it was a game changer or anything. Oh, still exciting.
13-minute first blood. I'm never going to let that go. 13-minute first blood.
13-minute first blood. And the top laners were at 0-0-0 for 27 minutes, too.
27 minutes, that's right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you next game.